Hello and welcome to the machine learning class. Today we will talk about reinforcement learning. Basically, reinforcement learning is one of the three paradigms of machine learning, that is supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and then the third paradigm is reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is basically a type of supervised learning, but it differs from that, from the supervised learning, in the fact that um, yeah. So it differs from supervised learning in not needing labeled input-output pairs, fine. And uh, it also differs in supervised learning in not needing the suboptimal actions to be explicitly corrected. We very well know that in supervised learning paradigm, we need the target input-output pairs. We need to know the target input-output pairs to be able to go through the algorithm. But in reinforcement learning, that is not the case. Instead, in reinforcement learning, the focus is on finding a balance between exploration and exploitation. Now, those of us who are familiar with the optimization a little do know what is exploration and what is exploitation. Exploration basically deals with searching in the unknown or new territory of the search space, whereas exploitation deals with detailed exploitation or detailed searching of the known area or the area which is currently under focus during the search algorithm. Fine. So reinforcement learning has its focus on finding a balance between how we can carry out the exploration of newer search space and how we can better exploit the current search space that we are in. Now, what actually is reinforcement learning? Reinforcement learning is a goal-oriented learning which is based on interaction or continuous interaction with the environment. Now, reinforcement learning is also said to be, the hope of true artificial intelligence in future, because this is how the newer applications are going to turn out, where uh, the application has to interact with the environment or interact with the user, interact in terms of perceiving values from it, or perceiving or sensing what kind of needs are there to, and then optimize itself accordingly. Now, reinforcement learning is growing rapidly, producing wide variety of learning algorithms for different applications, and hence it is important to be familiar with some of the techniques of reinforcement learning. Basically, machine learning, reinforcement learning basically is an agent learning environment where the agent learns to achieve a goal in an uncertain and a potentially complex environment. An artificial intelligence may have a situation like game playing, a complex game like situation, and the computer employs trial and error to come up with solutions to that problem. To get the machine to do what the programmer wants, now this piece of software or this artificial intelligence or this agent, it gets either rewards or it gets penalties for the action that it performs. Fine. So it's an agent-based learning environment where the agent has to interact with the complex environment, which may be a game-like situation. And then this artificial intelligence piece of software, or let us call it as an agent, this gets either rewards or it gets penalties for the action that it performs. And what is the goal of the agent? The goal of the agent is to maximize the rewards. So whatever rewards we have kept, the goal is always to maximize the rewards. Now, the agent learns to achieve a goal in an uncertain environment by leveraging the power of search. and by leveraging the power of iterations or several trials. Although the designer sets the reward policy, that is the rules of the game, whatever reward policy the designer has kept, he gives the model no hints or suggestions for how to solve that problem or how to solve that game. It's up to the model that we have designed. It's up to that model to figure out how to perform the task to so as to get the maximum rewards. Now this agent is going to start from totally random trials and get a reward for it or get a penalty for it, and accordingly the agent is going to learn in which direction to move, in which direction not to move, how many steps to take, because for every step either the agent is being rewarded or the agent is being penalized. So starting from total random moves, the agent is going to learn and slowly it is going to perform better. Fine. And ultimately it will leverage the power of several trials and find the most cost effective way to search through the many options that it has. Now, as we talked in the beginning, that reinforcement learning is almost similar to supervised learning, as they both use some kind of mapping between the input and the output, although the reinforcement learning does not have the privilege of having the input-output pairs present in the beginning. Unlike supervised learning, where feedback provided to the agent is always correct set of actions for performing a task, reinforcement learning uses rewards and punishments as a signal for positive and negative behavior, in which direction to move, in which direction not to foray. So as compared to unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning is different in terms of goals, right? In terms of difference to unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning is different in terms of its goals. While the goal in unsupervised learning is to find similarities and differences between data points, in reinforcement learning, the goal is to find a suitable action model, basically, that would maximize the total reward of the agent. So reinforcement learning is the third paradigm, which is different from both the supervised as well as the unsupervised learning in certain detailed nuances. The flowchart how any reinforcement learning algo, for example, Q would work is, first of all, we'll initialize the model or initialize the algorithm. We will choose the actions to perform. We will perform that action. We will have a list of actions which we can perform. For example, if we are playing a game, we could move to right, or we could move to left, or go up or go down. So we have 4 moves from which we can select. We will choose one action from amongst that. Then we will perform that action. And we will measure the reward for it. So either the reward is going to be positive or the reward is going to be negative, in which case we shall call it as penalty. Now we will update Q accordingly. Fine, we will update Q now from these actions that are listed 1, 2, 3, and 4. If it was a penalty, this action that we performed is already deleted from the list, as in this incurred a penalty, so we are not going to perform it again. So it is not a positive move. So it is not going to yield us the positive result. So it is not going to yield us to the goal. So this is how an agent will learn which action not to perform. Again, it will iterate. Again, it is going to iterate till we have only one option left, in which case the option has incurred the maximum reward. This is how the block diagram of a reinforcement learning model it should look like. The basic ideas and the elements that are involved in the machine learning model include, first of all, an environment, which is the physical world in which the agent operates. Now, this environment is typically stated in form of, MDPs. MDPs are basically Markov decision process, where every state is dependent on the output of the previous state. That is a Markov model. So these are basically Markov decision processes, because many reinforcement learning algorithms In this context, they utilize dynamic programming techniques. So every action has a precedence to it, which affects it. The main difference between the classical dynamic programming and reinforcement learning is that the reinforcement learning does not assume knowledge of an exact mathematical model. In dynamic programming, we do have an exact mathematical model, equations with us. In reinforcement learning, we do not have that exact mathematical model of the decision processes with us. These are just random decisions, as we discussed in the previous diagram. They are just random decisions, and we update our list according to whether it incurred a penalty or it incurred a reward with us. Then are the states labeled as ST means in a particular time. Now, it is the current situation of the agent. Reward, we already know that the feedback from the environment. Then there is a policy to the model. Fine. Policy is basically a method to map the agent's states to its actions. How will this state derived from this action? If we take this action, how does it derive to this state? If we take an action A1, how will it get us into this state? So this is basically a policy. And these rules are often stochastic or probabilistic in nature. Okay, so this is about the basic elements that are involved in reinforcement learning. When an agent's performance is compared basically to that of an agent that acts optimally. So we have an agent with us, and we have an agent that would act optimally. So when we compare the performance of our agent with an optimal agent, the difference in the performance gives rise to the notion of what we call as penalty or regret of not having taken that direction. Fine. So in order to act nearly optimally, the agent must reason about the long-term consequences of its action. If I take this action, what is the reward or penalty that it is going to yield after some time? So that brings in the concept of time in our reinforcement learning model. So basically, a reinforcement learning agent, it interacts with its environment in discrete time steps. At each time t, the agent receives an observation, let us say it as observation at time t, OT, which will include a reward RT. Then it chooses to perform an action AT from the set of available actions. For example, in playing a game of Ludo, again, we can move right or left or up or down. Fine. Now this action is subsequently sent to the environment, as in our model we are showing with this arrow. It is subsequently sent to the environment. The environment moves to a new state ST plus 1 with a reward R plus 1. Fine. And this transition ST, AT, ST plus 1, that is from the state ST, we performed an action AT and moved to AT plus 1. This transition is determined. As we discussed, the goal of this